वन्दे तां परमेश्वरी भगवती बुद्धिप्रदां शारदां न चौर्यहार्यं न च राजहार्यं न भातिभाज्यं न च भारकारि वैदिकेव नित्यं विद्याधनं सर्वधनं प्रधानं विद्याधनं सर्वधनं प्रधानं Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar, everybody. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
So, what is today's date? Do you know?
Yes, sir.
Today is 8th of Fagun 2077. Chaitra. 8th of Chaitra 2077 or 21st March 2021. Right? And we are in Anupam Vidya Sadan. Where is it? Lajimpat, Kathmandu, and it is higher secondary bonus school where the classes run from nursery to 12. Nursery to 12. And this is grade 9. And in Anupam Vidya Sadan, we focus on various activities, not only the teacher's presentation. So there will be students' presentation as well, right? So 4 students of grade 9, they are going to present on one topic. What is the topic? Nature and environment. So let me welcome those presentators. The presentators are Samiksha Dahal. And next, Sunaina Shrestha. Next one, Nirmala Rawal. And Saurika Shrestha. So, these 4 are the presentators. They are going to present on the topic nature and environment. I think they might have divided the portion into 4 equal halves, right, or 4 equal parts, and they are going to present. So, who is going to present at first? Samiksha Dahal. Okay. Now, I am going to give this chance to Samiksha Dahal. Pause. Did you pause?
Hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Samiksha Dahal. I am here to give a presentation. Today, the topic of my presentation is all about nature and environment. So without the delay of our time, I like to start my presentation. So nature and environment. We all know that we live in nature and environment. We are dependent upon nature and environment. No living being can survive alone on this earth. There is always a close relationship between living beings and non-living beings in nature and environment. So what is ecology? The branch of biology that deals with the interrelationship between living beings and environment is called ecology. So my first topic is components of ecosystem. So there are two components of ecosystem. They are abiotic components and biotic components. So first of all, let's talk about abiotic components. Abiotic components consist of non-living beings present on the earth. So there are 4 abiotic components which is very essential for living beings. So first one is air. We all know air is very essential for living beings. We cannot survive on the earth without air. Generally it consists of nitrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide. It is made up of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen and 0.03% carbon dioxide and other gases like water vapor, neon, etc. Moving on, next one is solar energy. Solar energy is also one of the most essential abiotic component for living beings. The energy provided by the sun in the form of heat and light is called solar energy. Both heat and light are very essential for living beings to survive on the earth in different forms. So next one is soil. Soil is also a very essential factor to live on the earth. Soil is called natural habitat and storehouse of the earth. There is presence of minerals, organic materials, water, etc. on the soil. So next one is water. Water, we use water in our daily life for different purposes. Water is one of the most essential abiotic component. Almost 71% of Earth's surface is covered by water. We cannot imagine our lives without water. So next component is biotic component. It consists of living beings. We living beings are interrelated with each other with different relation such as food, habitat, etc. So there are three biotic components. So first one is producer. Producers are also called autotrophs. Those organisms which produce their food by themselves are called producers. They are not dependent upon any other animals or organisms for their food. So next one is consumer. They are also called heterotrophs. Those organisms which feed on other organism for food is called consumer. We human beings are also consumer. Next one is decomposer. Those organisms which feed on dead bodies and organic wastes of living organisms are called decomposers. Now I like to call my co-presenter to explain about next topics. Thank you.
Namaskar and good afternoon to you all. This is me Nirmala Raut from grade 9. Today I am here to do a presentation of science on the topic of trophical level. Before starting my topic, I like to thank our ISO sir who give us to presentation on the confident level of the student. Without wasting my time, I will start my topic, trophical level. The producer-consumer arrangement is called trophical structure, and the position that occur in such arrangement is called trophical. In a Greenland ecosystem, there are 4 trophical level. First is producer, second is consumer, and third is secondary consumer and tertiary consumer. Now is another topic is food chains. The transferring of energy and materials in the form of food from one trophical level to another trophical level by repeated process of eating and being eaten. Now food web. Food web is a network of food chains interconnected at various trophical levels. Now, relationship between plants and animals. There are 2 types of relation between plants and animals. One is heterotrophs and next is autotrophs. Autotrophs are those organisms who can make their food for themselves. Is called autotrophs, but here is next one is heterotrophs are those organisms who cannot make their food by themselves and dependent from autotrophs. On the basis of natures of food, heterotrophs also divided into three types: holozoic, saprophytes, and parasites. On the basis of nature of food, holozoic are also divided into three types: herbivorous, carnivorous, and omnivorous. Herbivorous are those organs who directly feed on plants. For example, cow, elephant. And carnivorous are those organs who depend from herbivores. For example, frog, fox, etc. Omnivorous are those organisms who depend from both herbivorous and omnivorous. Now anyone, any question or not? Yes, Manisha? Oh, food chains means, food chains is the network of food interconnected at various trophical level. For example, tree eaten by the deer and deer eaten by the lion. Another example is grass eaten by the rabbit and rabbit eaten by the lion. Next example is that grass eaten by the mouse and mouse eaten by the snake eaten by the eagle. So this is called a food web. Anyone question or not? Yes, now I will like to call my next friends to explain about ecosystem. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Ms. Saurika Shrestha standing here to give a presentation on the topic of ecosystem. Ecosystem, as we all know that no organism can live independently. Living beings interact with non-living environment for the several requirements for survival. The term ecosystem was the first derived from the A.G. Tansley in 1935. He defined it as ecological. He defined it as the system of resulting and the non-living factor of the environment. Just in simple way, we can define it as also abiotic. It consists of biotic and abiotic factor. Mainly, ecosystem is classified into two types: water ecosystem and land ecosystem. Water ecosystem. The ecological unit in which organisms of water community interact among them and the environment to balance the number and the amount of other substance in the community. Some example of water ecosystems are pond ecosystem, sea ecosystem, rice field ecosystem, and one example is an pond ecosystem. There are different types of organisms in pond. In this, the producers are eaten by the primary consumers, and the producers and primary consumers are eaten by the secondary consumers. Secondary consumers is again eaten by the terrestrial consumer, and the terrestrial and when the animal and plants are died, when the animal and plants are died, their dead bodies are decomposed by the bacteria, and fertilizer is made, and that fertilizer is used by the producer. In this way, animal of this ecosystem is controlled in this community. Next, land ecosystem. The ecosystem in which animal and plant of community interact among them with the environment is called land ecosystem. Land ecosystem is also known as the terrestrial ecosystem. For example, grass ecosystem, land ecosystem, etc. Land ecosystem. In this ecosystem, producers are eaten by the primary consumers, and the primary consumers are eaten by secondary consumers, and secondary consumers are eaten by the terrestrial consumers. And the producers and consumer diet from the dead bodies are decomposed by decomposer like fungi and bacteria. In this way, animal or plant is controlled in that community. Ecosystem service. Ecosystem service is advantageous to us in many aspects, as we obtain our requirement from ecosystem. In 2006 AD, Millennium Ecosystem Assessment (AME) defined the ecosystem service as the people obtained from the ecosystem. AME also divided into the 4 types: provision service, regulating service, supporting service, and cultural service. Provision service. Provision service is related with the productions of food and water. The benefits of provision service are food productions, water, food and fiber, and fuel. And supporting service. Supporting service is related to the nutrient cycle and the crop pollination. The benefit of it are nutrient cycling, soil formation, primary production, habitat provision. And regulating service. Regulating service is related to control of climate and diseases. The benefits of it are climate regulation, food regulation, water purifications, and disease regulations. And next, cultural service. Cultural service is related with spiritual and recreation. Its benefits are spiritual, aesthetics, educational, and recreations. Now I like to call my next friend to give a presentation on next topic. Thank you.
Namaskar and good afternoon to you all. It's me Sunaya Shrestha from grade 8. Today I am here, grade 9. Today I am here to present you a short discussion about basic requirements and adverse impact of climate change. So without wasting any time, I would like to start my presentation. Basic requirements of human beings. As you all know, we human beings require a lot of things to survive in this earth. There are a lot of aspects for a human being to survive. Some of them are food, shelter, and clothes. These are the basic requirements which are very important. Without these food, shelter, and clothes, no human being can survive. So food is the most important requirement for a human being. We obtain food from different animals and plants. It is obtained from nature and environment. Food is very important, as a human being requires energy and nutrition. It is gained from food. The plants and animals from which we gain food are from nature and environment, so it is related with it. Next is shelter. Shelter is also very important for survival. We all are living in houses and buildings which are built from the nature. Cloth is also essential, as it gives warmth and protection to our body. Cloth is also obtained from many plants, as the plants gives us the requirements to make clothes. So it is very important, as plants and animals are providing the things required for these elements. Next one is adverse impact of climate change on ecosystem. The adverse impact of climate change on ecosystem Climate change is the rising of temperature of the average of the earth. The impact of climate change is rising day by day. The migration of organisms, extinctions of organisms, behavior change of organisms are some of the elements that is being seen nowadays by the adverse impact of climate change. Migration of organisms. Climate change is rising day by day. The average temperature of Earth is rising. So many plants and animals are migrating from one place to another for their survival. Many places are changing into deserts, and oceans are rising up. The level of oceans are rising up. It causes impact on the organisms who live near it. Next one is extinction of organisms. Because of climate change, the plants are growing slowly, and it also affects the whole ecosystem, as there are many animals who feed on those plants. The organisms of terrestrial and aquatic places are also disappearing. We can also say that the organisms are being dead, and they cannot feed on their food. Behavior change of organisms. The animals change their hibernation period. It means that they have to break the hibernation period. The hibernation period is not in the normal period. The next one can be the polar bears are also very thin, and they are unhealthy than that they were found 20 years before. The plants are not growing and well developed. It affects those organisms who feed on them. The migration pattern of many organisms are affected, as the migratory route is also affected by the climate change. The growth and seeding periods of many plants are affected. It affects the whole ecosystem, as it is migration of animals and plants are affected, and it becomes difficult for them to migrate from one place to another. So with this, I would like to end my presentation here. Thank you for listening to us very carefully.
They have done great performance, right? Yes. So this is the first presentation of class 9, and they have performed the best one. What is here? Nature and environment. So the presentators, Samiksha Dahal, Nirmala Rawat, Saurika Shrestha, and Sunaina Shrestha. They are fabulous, and they have just fulfilled their promise. I had told them not to use book, and they didn't see the book. So they have practiced a lot. Next week means Sunday there is Holi. So on that, and for that I am going to select the person. So first of all, should I select, or you were giving your name in with your interest? Yeah, okay. Samiksha, select one. Yeah, Sunaina. Yeah, select one. Yeah, one. Already decided. Good. Who are they? Rojan, please come here. Okay, Rojan. Samir. Sudarshan and Arun, come here. Come. Arun, come here. So these 4 students, they are going to present next week. So their presentation must be better than theirs. Understood, Anna? That's why it's a challenging work. Thank you very much.